evening. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Newport News School Board for Tuesday, September 20th, 2022. On behalf of the members of the school board and the superintendent, I welcome each of you present this evening and those who are watching on TV and online. A quorum is present to transact the business of the school division. We will begin tonight's meeting with an invocation and pledge to the flag. Here to do the honors is George Smith, a senior at Warwick High School. Mr. Smith, please come forward and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is George Smith. I go to Warwick High School. I'm a senior. I aspire to be a cybersecurity major in my future, and I'm ready to learn.
Glad to have you.
Thank you. Yeah. Should I start with the invocation first? Yeah. I shall start with a poem. It's Don't Quit by Taran Prasad. When times are hard, you might stop for a bit, but it's not over until you quit. On a river's bridge, failures are the planks, but just take one step at a time until you reach its banks. Don't give up on your dreams, chase them instead. You will find one morning, as you wake up from bed, that you are the person about whom you dreamed, and you can reach great heights, impossible though it seemed. When things go wrong, and your back is to the wall, try to stand up. No more can you fall. Life is full of up and downs. Take them in stride. You will discover your little star inside.
Have a stand for the pledge?
Yes. Everybody please stand for the pledge. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Thank you for having me.
So I'm assuming these people sitting next to you are family. Yes. Welcome. Well, I'm sure they're proud right along with us. Thank you for your time tonight. So the next item on tonight's agenda is school board recognitions. This evening, we are formally welcoming this year's student representative to the school board. Dr. Parker.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's you.
If you would like to have your family join me. So we have Miss Manadero here to receive her oath of commitment, and we're glad that her family is here to stand with her. Miss Manadero, as school board chairwoman, I have the honor and privilege of leading your oath of commitment. So please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Raquel Manadero, do solemnly affirm that I will support the mission of Newport News Public Schools. And I will faithfully perform my duties as the student representative to the school board. I will attend school board meetings and participate in board functions. I will serve as a facilitator to the Superintendent Student Advisory Group. And I will contribute to school board discussion. I will strive to fulfill the responsibilities of this position. While excelling in my studies. I split that up just a little bit. According to the best of my abilities.
According to the best of my abilities.
Miss Menendero, congratulations and welcome to the school board. I will ask you if you'd like to offer some comments, but you may do that from your seat if you'd like. Well, thank you. Everyone else can take their seats. Yes. Yes. Oh, we can do the picture. Sorry about that. I ran them away.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
And mom and dad? Okay. And we will stand adjourned for 5 minutes. Actually, we'll do comments first.
Do the comments?
Let her do her comments
Get in
first,
there.
and then we'll adjourn for 5 minutes.
Alrighty. You
Okay, Ms. Menendero, you feel free to address if you'd like.
Good evening. I'm John Menendero. To all the members of the school board, Dr. Parker. I'd like to thank you for providing me this opportunity to make a positive impact on our education in our community and to students across the city. I look forward to becoming more involved with the decisions made here and reflecting the beliefs of the students across Newport News. I'm excited to learn and grow from this experience and contribute my perspective to the best of the benefit to the school board and within my position. Thank you.
Thank you. We're looking forward to working with you. We'll take a short break, and during this time, our viewing audience will have the opportunity to see this month's school board spotlight, and we will stand in recess for about 6 minutes.
In early June, Palmer Elementary held a week-long 50th anniversary celebration in recognition of the school opening in May of 1972. One of the highlights was inviting school leaders, school board members, and other special guests to a courtyard ceremony. The special celebration was broadcast live throughout the school by the talented students on Palmer's morning show crew and included student performances, an interview with the school board leader, and facts about the school's namesake, Latrell Palmer Sr. Months before the celebration, Palmer principal Dr. Melody Cam received a phone call from a retired assistant principal who told her about a time capsule that had been buried in Palmer's courtyard 25 years ago during the school's 25th anniversary. When students unearthed the capsule in late winter, they found pictures and other paper artifacts. On display during the 50th anniversary celebration were all of the new items that students and staff had selected to refill the time capsule for students to discover many years from now to learn about Palmer's rich history. Outside the school, the Army's talented Tradoc Band hosted a school-wide concert while the students paraded around the dance party. Each class designed and constructed creative floats in honor of the school's birthday, while fifth graders created banners that highlighted some of the amazing facts about Latrell Palmer Sr. He was the first principal of Huntington High School in 1920 and served there for 23 years. Palmer was active in the community through church and civic groups, and was a strong advocate for equal pay for all teachers. And he helped form the Virginia Teachers Association, which eliminated discriminatory practices in public education. Happy 50th birthday to Palmer Elementary. All educators in Newport News Public Schools kicked off the new school year at the 4th Annual Innovate Conference. The two-day gathering offered inspirational insights from guest speakers and school leaders in a virtual setting. Over 300 breakout sessions were hosted in person at Woodside High School and virtually online for educators to explore new methods of learning, ways to effectively incorporate technology into their lesson plans, and strategies to keep the focus of their efforts on growing all students towards success. These sessions were taught by our own talented educators and allowed staff to gain valuable relicensure points. On the second day, a student panel offered honest and real feedback about their journey along the educational path. This massive and impactful conference was organized by the talented teams from Instructional Technology and the Employee Expertise Department to help educators start the school year with an aim to impact student learning, growth, and achievement. During the summer, Hines Middle School was the center of all things STEM. For 2 weeks in July, rising 3rd through 8th grade students were enrolled in an immersive Cyber STEAM camp. The Cyber STEAM program already exists at 7 schools across Newport News Public Schools, allowing students to learn the language of computer science through fun STEAM activities during the regular school year. The Cyber STEAM program, as well as the summer camp, are funded by a Department of Defense Education Activity Grant. While the program focuses on serving students at military-connected schools, all students were invited to attend, with 523 participating in the 7-day Summer Cyber STEAM Camp. At each grade level, students used different robots and technologies to achieve a range of goals, while learning how to problem solve and use computational thinking strategies. Using Lego We Do kits, students overcame the challenges of space exploration through creative construction. Students coded with Edison robots to maneuver through challenging courses. After constructing their own city, students expertly maneuvered Ozobots from place to place. And students utilized the near limitless potential of Hummingbird kits to design, build, and program a variety of robots with different functions. 29 educators assisted students through the engineering design practice as they built foundational knowledge, created blueprints, and made their designs come to life through creative engineering. Some of these teachers had just graduated from college, so the Cyber STEAM Camp was a wonderful introduction to utilizing technology as a teaching tool in the classroom. Business and educational partners shared their expertise as guest speakers to give the student engineers a broader understanding of what they were creating and the real-world problems they were solving. At the end of the camp, school leaders and families were invited to an open house to tour the wonderful engineering designs and hear from the students about their technological creations. In just 2 short weeks, over 500 students gained valuable knowledge to meet various standards of learning, while utilizing STEM to make our world a better place to live, work, and have fun. Last week, students returned for a brand new school year, and exuberant educators welcomed them with much fanfare while guiding them to their homeroom classrooms. At a number of schools, community partners, city leaders, church volunteers, elected officials, and college students made the welcomes even more special. After hopping off their buses or being dropped off by their parents, students received high fives and cheers from a community of supporters. Student athletes from Christopher Newport University have a long-standing tradition of greeting students and staff to a new school year. As part of CNU's Kids First Athletic Outreach, assistant basketball coach and director of community outreach, Coach Roland Ross, organizes CNU's student athletes to make a difference in their community. At 6 elementary schools, athletic teams personally greeted students while cheering them on to a successful year. They also spent time on the first day to remind drivers to watch out for kids walking to and from their bus stops and to respect the school buses stopping to pick up kids. At various intersections along Warwick Boulevard, teams held up signs urging commuters to slow down and pay extra attention while driving. CNU's Greek organizations also joined the celebration on the first day of school. With a strong foundation in community service, several sororities and fraternities lined up in front of schools welcoming students and families. For many of these college students, this is just the first step to supporting and partnering with our schools and students throughout the rest of the school year.
Students across Newport News Public Schools are now using T-Pass, a new student tracking tool for families. When a student's personal T-Pass card is scanned, the data is sent directly to the Here Comes the Bus app and website, letting parents and guardians know the exact time, date, and location of where students get on and off the school bus. Here Comes the Bus app can be downloaded from the Apple Store or Google Play at no cost. Parents, make sure your child takes their T-Pass to school every day and keeps it in the provided sleeve and lanyard for safekeeping. If a T-Pass is lost, the school office can provide a replacement. T-Pass is linked to your child's personal student ID number, so it will work on any bus your student rides and will continue to work if your child changes schools in Newport News. Students that do not ride the bus can use their T-Pass to reserve books in the library, and hopefully, later this school year, the T-Pass will be used in the cafeteria when students receive their school lunch.
I hope you enjoyed this month's School Board Spotlight. During our regular meetings, we provide time for the public to address the school board. These opportunities are scheduled in the early part of our agenda and also towards the end of the meeting. As advertised, citizens may submit comments via email or web form up to 30 minutes prior to our meeting time to be included in the official meeting record. For those of you joining us in person, the board considers this an opportunity to listen to your comments. Please understand that we will consider your concerns. We ask that you comply with our 3-minute limit. As you begin your comments, a green light will come on. A yellow light signals that you have 30 seconds remaining, and a red light and a beep indicates your time is up. As your name is called, please come forward. Our first person is Michael Bartley.
Superintendent Parker, members of the school board, thank you for giving me time to speak. I'd also like to thank Dr. Bennett and Principal Knoll, who were very quick in responding to my concerns when I contacted them online. This is all about an email that I received from the principal of Gildersleeve Elementary stating that they were going to do random suspicionless searches starting last week of school. And I'm completely not okay with that. I talked to my daughter about that, and she has reasons to be against it, which I'm not going to cover because they're private to her. But I do have my reasons. And the main one is that if you're searching for drugs, you can find them with false positives on innocuous substances. People have gone to jail for up to 3 months before crime labs have gone over Krispy Kreme sugar and cotton candy. I'm not going to tell you my daughter won't have that in her backpack. That's just, I try and keep it clean, but those kind of things just might be in there. And so when I talked to Dr. Barnett on the phone yesterday, she said she believed that this had been done for 30 years since she started. And that may be true. And maybe that's why that was allowed, because in 2004, the Little Rock School Board was sued for, as far as I can tell, this exact thing. They were searching a junior high student. Everyone in the room, they leave your stuff, search their stuff. They lost the lawsuit. The court said that you cannot suspend the Fourth Amendment just by giving notice that you're doing that. So I ask you to update this policy. There's lots of ways to search people by generating reasonable suspicion. You can use metal detectors, you can use canines, and I just think it's lazy not to try and go through those steps before you start searching people's backpacks and rifling through their stuff. And I, as many people, are always worried about the school to prison pipeline, and I don't want my or any other children to get sucked into that. Please end this policy before it becomes a lawsuit. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bartley. Pam Hall?
Good evening. I am Pam Hall, and I live in the Southeast community. I, along with over 400 petitioners, stand committed to returning our students to Huntington Middle School at 3401 Orchid Avenue as soon as possible. The 2017 concept of the mayor to have a campus should not continue to hinder our children's educational experience. We ask you to please rethink the decision to move the school. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hall. And thank you, both of you, for your comments and thoughts this evening. We will now move on to Section 3, the consent agenda, which includes 3.01, minutes from the school board retreat on August 16th, 2022, 3.02, minutes from the closed meeting on August 16, 2022, and 3.03, minutes from the regular meeting on August 16, 2022. 3.04, financial reports, including the revenue report for June 2022 and August 2022, and the expense reports for June 2022 and August 2022. 3.5, the personnel report, and 3.06, a budget transfer. So at this time, can we have a motion to approve that consent agenda?
Madam
Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Four.
Billy,
4.
Harris,
4.
Hunter,
4.
Amon,
4.
Best,
4.
Searles Law.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. And at this time, may I have a motion to approve the superintendent's personnel recommendations?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the superintendent's personnel recommendations for Shannon Bailey, Director of Procurement, Fabian Davis, Administrative Assistant of Crittenden Middle School, William Taylor III, Principal at Enterprise Academy, Tiffany Thompson, Assistant Principal of Instruction at Heritage High School, Melanie Turan, Assistant Principal at Crittenden Middle School, and Rebecca Snyder, Administrative Assistant at Newsom Park Elementary School.
Okay, do we have a second?
I second the motion.
And any discussion? All right, let's take the roll.
Brown,
4.
Ely,
4.
Harris,
4.
Hunter,
4.
Amon,
4.
Best,
4.
Searles Law.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Dr. Parker, would you please introduce our administrative appointment?
Excellent. And just verify, Dr. This is Rebecca Snyder with me.
Yes, I did. Chairman.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right. I want to be out of order here tonight. Madam Chair, I would like to introduce our appointments for this evening to the board and to our Newport News community. I'll start by introducing Miss Rebecca Snyder as the new administrative assistant at Newsom Park Elementary School. Rebecca, if you're here, would you please stand? Good to see you this evening. And Ms. Snyder has a Master of Science in Educational Leadership from Old Dominion University and a Master of Science in Elementary Education from the University of Phoenix. Ms. Snyder has worked as Math Academy Coordinator, SOL Remediation Coordinator, Summer School Site Coordinator, and Lead Teacher, all with Hampton City Public Schools. She is joining us, our Newport News family, this evening as an Administrative Assistant at Newsom Park Elementary. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining us this evening. And please, you're welcome to bring greetings to the board and introduce your family or friends who are joining you this evening.
Thank you for having me. I have with me my mother and my daughter, Julia.
Good to see everyone. Let's give them a round of applause. And welcome aboard, Rebecca. We look forward to your leadership. I'd also like to introduce Ms. Shannon Bailey as the new Director of Procurement. Shannon, would you please stand? Good evening. Ms. Bailey has a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration from Old Dominion University. She has a certification as a Virginia Construction Contracting Officer from the Virginia Department of General Services Division of Engineering and Building, and a certification as a Virginia Contracting Officer from Virginia Institute of Procurement. Ms. Bailey currently works for the Newport News Public Schools as the Procurement Supervisor. She has worked as the Assistant Director of Procurement Services with Christopher Newport University, the Strategic Sourcing Officer for Virginia Commonwealth College System, a Capital Procurement Manager for the Norfolk State University, and as a Contract Manager for Hampton Roads Transit. Thank you, Ms. Bailey, for being here this evening and for this opportunity that you are well prepared for. Would you like to bring greetings and introduce any of your friends or family who are joining you this evening?
I'd like to say greetings to Dr. Parker and also to the school board. Thank you for this opportunity. And I have here my sister, Carla Hendricks. She's here joining me this evening.
Thank you, and we look forward to your leadership.
Thank you.
Our next appointee, I'd like to introduce Mr. Fabian Davis as the new Administrative Assistant at Crittenden Middle School. Mr. Davis, please stand. Mr. Davis has a Master of Arts in Administration and Supervision from Averett University. He has a Special Education Licensure cohort from Virginia Union University. He has a Bachelor of Arts in History from Wake Forest University. Mr. Davis currently works for Newport News Public Schools as a Special Education Teacher at Heritage High School. Mr. Davis has worked for Hampton City Public Schools as a Special Education Teacher at Hunter B. Andrews Elementary School and an in-school suspension teacher as well. Mr. Davis, good evening and congratulations. Please bring greetings, and do you have any friends or family joining you this evening?
I have Miss Matia Smith here. Thank you. I have my daughter and my mother here, and my family from home watching on TV.
Awesome. And Mr. Davis, we thank you as well. Look forward to your leadership. Our next appointee is Mr. William Taylor III as the new principal at Enterprise Academy. Good evening. Mr. Taylor has a master's degree in educational administration and leadership from Cambridge College, a Bachelor of Arts in political science and education from St. Paul's College. He currently works for Hampton City Public Schools as the assistant principal at Sims Middle School. He has worked for Portsmouth Public Schools as the assistant principal at West Haven Elementary School, Craddock Middle School, and I.C. Norcom High School. Mr. Taylor has also worked as a history teacher for Newport News Public Schools in the past and Brunswick County Public Schools. Mr. Taylor, welcome back home. So, as you bring greetings, do you have any friends or family joining you this evening?
Yes, again, welcome, school board, and Dr. Parker, thank you very much. I have with me my father, my mother here, his wife, my brother-in-law, my mother-in-law, and Miss Aville.
Awesome. And I see your lovely wife looks a little familiar. She's one of our principals. So welcome back to Newport News. You never can stray too far. You always come back home. All right. Yes, sir. And he is one of a fraternity friend of ours. Mr. Hunter just reminded us of that. So, all right. Our next appointee is Ms. Tiffany Thompson as the new assistant principal of instruction at Heritage High School. Good evening. Ms. Thompson has a master's degree in educational leadership from Regent University. She has a Bachelor of Science in Biological Science from Hampton University. Ms. Thompson currently works for Newport News Public Schools as the assistant principal at Denby High School. She has also worked as a Spark Summer School administrator, a science lead teacher at Woodside High School, and a science teacher at Charlottesville High School for Charlottesville City Public Schools. Congratulations, Ms. Thompson.
Thank you.
Okay, would you bring greetings this evening and introduce us to your friends and family?
Yes, first of all, I want to thank you, Dr. Parker, and members of the school board. Joining me today via the live stream, my son at George Mason University is watching, and my family in Kentucky is watching. And then here to support me tonight, I have my extended Hampton Roads family. So thank you all. I just want to thank you for the opportunity that's been given to me today, and I look forward to serving as assistant principal of instruction at Heritage High School.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And our next appointee is Miss Melanie Turan as the new assistant principal of Crittenton Middle School. Now, Ms. Turan has an education specialist degree in educational leadership and a school library endorsement and a Master of Science degree in elementary education from Old Dominion University. She has a Bachelor of Science in Interdisciplinary Studies from the Norfolk State University. Ms. Turan currently works for Newport News Public Schools as an administrative assistant and dean of students at Crittenton Middle School. She has worked as the administrator for Spark Summer Program at Stony Run Elementary and administrative intern for Spark Summer Programs at Yates Elementary and the lead library media specialist at Heritage High School and at Achievable Dream Academy. A lead teacher at Briarfield Elementary School and as a teacher at Magruder Elementary School. And she is joining us this evening to take on a much bigger role. So congratulations, Ms. Turan.
Thank you.
And would you like to bring greetings and introduce any friends or family who are joining you this evening?
Yes, thank you all for having me. I have both my families here. I have my personal family, my husband Ron, my daughter Courtney, and my work family, my all-in principal Natia Smith, and 7th grade assistant principal Denisha Bazemore. Thank you, families.
Awesome. Congratulations. And congratulations to all of our appointees, Madam Chair. That concludes our appointments for this evening.
Sounds great. Well, welcome to the family. We're glad you're here and sharing your talents with us. So the next item on our agenda is Section 4, our action items. And on the agenda is 4.01, several revised policies from the instruction chapter of the policy manual. Dr. Parker, did you want to make any comments? I know we had these presented to us back in June.
Well, I'd like to thank the board and Mrs. Brooks for all of the hard work and Lynn Wallen for all of the work in bringing these instructional policies forward. We tabled a few of these because we wanted to put more work in, put an extra set of eyes on some of these instructional policies. Very important. It's the meat and potatoes of what we do. So thank the board for taking the time. Madam Chair, I know you wanted to bring these forward in groupings. So we stand ready to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, great, thank you. So the first set of policies are policies related to the instructional program. They're IE, Organization of Instruction, IG, Curriculum Development, Adoption, Implementation, and Review, IGA, New Program Proposal and Approval, and IHBH, School Program Options. Do I have a motion to adopt these policies?
Madam Chair, I move to approve these new and revised policies as presented.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, Ms. Buffalo, please call the roll.
My pleasure. Mr. Brown?
4.
Ely?
4.
Harris?
4.
Hunter?
4.
Amon?
4.
Best?
4.
Searles Law?
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
The next set of policies are related to courses and instructional support programs. IHA, Curricula Offerings. IHAL, Teaching About Religion. IHAMB, Family Life Education. IHBD, State and Federal Instructional Support Programs. IHBEA, English as a Second Language, ESL. Do I have a motion to adopt these policies?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the new and revised policies as presented.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Well, I'll just say, like I said, Madam Chair, I appreciate the work of the policy committee and the work of the
Agree. Any other comments? All right, we'll call the roll.
Brown.
4.
Ely.
4.
Harris.
4.
Hunter.
4.
Amon.
4.
Best.
4.
Searles Law.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
And our final set are policies related to instructional resources and materials. So we have IJ, instructional resources and materials, IJNB, resource teachers, changed to reading and math intervention teachers, IJNC, school library media centers, IJNCB, instructional resources and services, and IJO, community learning resources. Let me make a comment that IJNCB, the instructional resources and services, is proposed for deletion. Do I have a motion to adopt?
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to delete IJNCB.
Okay. Do we have a second for the motion to delete IJNCB?
Second.
Okay. Second, any discussion? Okay, let's call the roll on that.
Brown.
4.
Ely.
4.
Harris.
4.
Hunter.
4.
Amon.
4.
Best.
4.
Searles Law.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
So by letter recognition, I will repeat the ones that we will put forth for vote. It's IJ, IJNB, IJNC, and then IJO. Do I have a motion to approve these?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the new and revised policies as presented.
And the second?
Second.
Thank you. Conversation.
Well, I'll again make a comment that I was we got it done. It was for one word, and that one word designee was removed from IJ, which now allows me to support this. So I appreciate that. I know that there was a lot of work that was done. Again, that these set of policies acknowledge the rights of parents to participate with their children in their education and to monitor what is going on with their children. So this was something that I think was very important to all of us, and I think needed. And I think it's great that we've demonstrated the leadership of revising these policies.
Thank you. Any further comments? Please call the roll.
Brown.
4.
Ely.
4.
Harris.
4.
Hunter.
4.
Amon.
4.
Best.
4.
Searles Law.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. And I am going to reiterate how much I appreciate everyone working together to get these policies reviewed, revised, re-reviewed, re-revised. And, you know, that goes for the policy committee, but it also goes for our board members too. So thank you for that. We've got several that are coming up that are going to be big ones. We have put those aside so that we can spend a little more time on those, as Dr. Parker mentioned, but we're very happy to have these approved at this point. So, all right. So the next agenda item is section 5, reports and information. So we're going to do 5.01, the monthly school update. Dr. Parker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And for those who have our wonderful guests who have come to support your appointees this evening, you're welcome to stay. However, if you're going out to dinner or want to go out and celebrate, you are free at this time to detach yourself. You, of course, you're welcome to stay.
That's not a regular time.
All right.
Reports won't be so. Hopefully these reports won't be so long.
That's not regular. That's not regular.
Kids being dismissed.
We got to be here now. That's just automatic.
And Madam Chair, we'll give it a moment and call Mr. Wayne Santos, our Executive Director of Technology, forward to begin our school update in a moment. We'll let them recess out and we're ready to roll.
Oh.
It's like a PTS.
Why you getting that to me? 'Cause I'm not gonna-
Number 5. Okay, in beginning the monthly school update, we have not had much momentum in terms of COVID transmission, so we did not include a formal update on in the monthly school update for this month.
Can we clap on that?
Yeah.
So if the board are, again, we will continue to update our information on the division webpage on COVID transmission if the public has any interest or if there are any constituent concerns or questions regarding COVID-19. But we are in a good place right now, and we'd like to knock on wood and keep moving on. So Mr. Santos has recently, and his staff have completed a technology distribution. So he'll kick us off with giving the board an update on where we are with getting our one-to-one device initiative up and running.
Thank you, Dr. Parker. Good evening, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, school board members, and Dr. Parker again. So what I'll do is just give you a quick update of where we are for the computer distribution and what it looks like thus far. Next slide, please. So to date, all the device distribution has gone according to schedule. So we've had no impediments thus far. The total amount of devices that has been issued is 23,746, and I've broken it down for both secondary and elementary. And when I get to the next slide, I'll give you kind of a more granular snapshot of what it looks like from the secondary lens. But the total devices issued for secondary was 12,273, for elementary 11,023. So this is a win for us. The first time actually doing a one-to-one distribution in the school. So thanks for the staff and for the building administration for the flexibility. Allowing us to facilitate these throughout the school days. So I greatly appreciate it. Next slide, please. So this is a more granular view of what it looks like from the secondary lens. I didn't add elementary just due to the amount of elementary schools, but I did want to capture the amount of devices that were distributed per the elementary schools. So here's the high school numbers broken down per each high school with the amount of devices in each school as well as with the middle school. So hopefully that paints a picture to the amount of devices that we have going home with the students this school year. So pending any questions by the board, I'll be followed by Bridget Adams with Youth Development.
I just have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
For the students that did not receive devices, that's because they have their own devices or they don't?
For the students that did not receive devices.
So
if they didn't receive a device on the initial distribution, it was because they already had a device that wasn't returned the previous years. Okay. So when they came in, as we did the distribution at each school, what took place was we scanned that device, we scanned the ID number, and then we put up the student's name. And then per our one-to-one device, how we track it in our one-to-one plus system, we can say, hey, said student still has a device out. We verify that they still have the device, ask them to return that device, and then we give them a refresh device. So what we were trying to go away from, Dr. Best, was trying to issue multiple devices, and then the possibility of duplicate devices being lost as we work towards hardening up our accountability postures.
Okay, we appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
One question, and that's in regards to now that we've distributed all the devices and we distributed hotspots as well, can we develop a mapping that would show the city and where we have households that don't have Wi-Fi or don't have Wi-Fi access? And so that would just be the question is, do we have the data and the capability now to generate that type of report?
So I think we would first have to find out. So we would have to get some type of report, Mr. Brown, that says these people have requested Wi-Fi first. And then based on the request, we can say it's deemed because they don't have it. So I think if we have the information per the request, then yes, we can provide you a map of who doesn't have Wi-Fi. But without getting that request, we just won't know, right? So when we start looking at data analytics and data points, right, we want to make sure we paint an accurate picture, which is hard to do without a request. So I can't say that these households don't have internet if they haven't first requested internet stating that they don't have it, if that makes sense, right? So I need to have insight to who has internet and who doesn't. So the typical household isn't just going to say, Mr. Brown, if you have internet, you're not going to report to the school, hey, I have internet, I'm good, right? So we have to base those data points off of those who request that. Now, once we do have that, or we can give you the data on who we're providing internet to, right? So we can give you those data points, essentially, but opposed to who doesn't have it or what areas, we would have to get requests to answer those questions.
And I just think that information of who we're providing hotspots to, or where we believe there potentially may be lack of Wi-Fi access, is important information that we could share with the city, especially as we look where infrastructure needs are and where folks could we could have some more cell towers and some more optic cable in their neighborhoods.
I'll make a note of that and circle back and give you an update, Dr. Parker.
Yes.
Are families still able to take advantage of reduced cost Wi-Fi at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. All right, I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Penny, any questions? I'll be followed by Bridget Adams. Thank you.
All right. And Mrs. Adams is ramping up the youth development initiatives around the city. So that is the bulk of our report this evening, because a lot of things going on in our schools, getting kids acclimated and acquainted with activities and opportunities.
Thank you for having me here tonight, Madam Law, Dr. Bess, board members, our newest board member, Raquel, very nice meeting you today, and Dr. Parker. I have a disclaimer. So it's been a year since I've been here before you, so I have lots of cute pictures of kids to distract you because I have a lot to share and really excited to do so. I really am excited to just share with you some of the work that we've been doing with youth development, but I always like to start at the beginning just to make sure that we're all in the same place about what youth development is and how it supports the greater work of Newport News Public Schools, the strategic plan. I always explain, the easiest way to explain youth development and what it is positive experiences plus positive relationships, and positive environments equals positive youth development. Mm-hmm. We have a more detailed youth development model that we use to drive our work, and that also maps to the profile of a learner as well as the strategic plan, and all of that will be shared with the work that I shared tonight. And I do want to point out that one of the things that we did this year is we came up with our own mantra for youth development, and that our principle is really to make sure that any work that we do, the result of it is that students feel seen, heard, and loved. So that is our goal for this year. The majority of the work that we do in youth development really falls under the 3 strategic goals: student success, student and staff wellness, and enhanced partnerships. And that's really where I'm going to spend some time tonight. This graphic really just shows you how the youth development model, which drives our work, also intersects with the profile of a learner, because the work that we do fuels the profile of a learner and contributes to students actually achieving that particular goal. I'm going to start with student success, and I'll read from my notes so I don't get distracted. But student success, strategic support, which aligns with youth development, reads as providing multiple opportunities for students to develop and grow through extracurricular activities. Well, that is something that we love to do. The number of opportunities for student involvement available to our students far exceeds that which you might find in other divisions. And this is really due to the number of dedicated staff members that we have committed to ensuring that every student in our school is connected to at least one club, sport, or activity. Now, some schools may differ in their approach to making this possible. Either they offer clubs during resource time, club days, flex periods, and of course after school. And several schools have found really creative ways to make student involvement possible during the school day while still protecting instructional time. And this is ideal because many of our students are not able to stay after school, and some just won't. So by offering these opportunities during the school day, we increase access to extracurricular activities. Over the past 2 years, we've worked really hard to develop ways to measure the effectiveness of our work, including site-based inventories, reports, and even walk-through observation tools, which really focus on youth development and how it's happening in the buildings. It's also really important that our school-based staff is focused on the goals that will drive student outcomes in their building, and also that they have the quantitative and qualitative data to know if their strategies and the strategies that they're using every day are actually working. So extracurricular activities includes those which extend education beyond the school walls. Youth Development sponsors a number of unique experiences, many of which you've actually participated in, for students throughout the year. I'm just going to highlight a few here. For example, our middle school Rise Male Empowerment Program participants got to experience a STEM Day activity, Coasters 101, a behind-the-scenes look at roller coasters at Busch Gardens. So they're used to going and actually riding on the roller coasters. They actually got to go behind the scenes and see how they work. Also, a few of our Bloom members who participate in the Dr. Christine Mann Darden National Society of Black Engineers Junior Chapter were the only special guests at NASA Take a Girl to Engineering Day. So they got to rub elbows not only with Dr. Darden, but also with national NASA leaders and other NASA leaders at including rocket science. Students also participate in cultural, college and career exploration activities, and so much more. We rely on our students like Raquel and like George, who was here with us earlier, to really inform our work, and many serve on task force, not only for us, but also for the community. Finally, we are excited to partner with the Hampton Roads Chess Association to introduce chess at some of our schools. Student and staff wellness. The vast majority of youth development work aligns with student wellness. Our focus is really to empower students to be global leaders and citizens who take care of themselves and others emotionally, socially, and physically. As you know, STAND is our campaign to discourage bullying and to promote positive school culture in all of our schools. Next month, we will celebrate STAND Month, which will include a number of activities that I will share with you a little later this evening. A few of you supported our Stand Together and Read Day last year and read to our elementary students. The Live Well Student Wellness Club, which mirrors our adult wellness program, is designed to have students lead efforts in their schools to promote overall well-being among their peers, including wellness campaigns, for example, to promote better nutrition, or awareness campaigns which align with monthly recognitions like teen dating violence or mental health. Creating environments in which kindness is the norm is a priority throughout the year, but we collectively celebrate Operation Kindness Week each year to promote a sense of belonging for all students. This year, we also introduced Celebrate Me, a division-wide campaign to celebrate cultural heritage, and we look forward to doing that again this year in early March. We also launched several programs designed to build skills in students at various grade levels, including the Feelings Project, which was sponsored by our Flourish Empowerment Program, to provide 6 hours of programming on regulating emotions for over 120 9th and 10th grade students, and multiple offerings under RISE, which provided specialized programming for diverse groups of students, and I'll talk about some of those in a few minutes. Most of youth development work that we do could not be accomplished without the help of a number of community partners who support our students and our work daily. CNU continues to be a strong mutual partner as we connect their students with opportunities in our schools, and they provide our schools with much needed support. Our students often benefit from strong relationships with community partners like Centera, who, when they decided to offer their first ever health career summer camp for middle school students, contacted Newport News Public Schools. We also meet on a monthly basis with members of the Newport News Youth Collective, which is comprised of community partners with similar visions and goals, such as Newport News Parks and Rec, the Boys and Girls Club, the Newport News Department of Youth Services, and the Newport News Police Department Community and Youth Outreach Department, among other partners. We meet every month to synchronize our calendars and to work smarter and not harder to serve youth in Newport News. We support each other's projects and partner for special opportunities like the Newport News Youth Wellness Expo. Newport News Parks and Rec used to offer a summer camp wellness expo each year at the mall on the same day that we had our annual kickball tournament and violence prevention initiative. So we decided to partner this year, and what resulted was we combined our resources and were able to offer a bigger, more comprehensive experience for youth and families. And in addition to working with local partners, our department continues to reach out not only to increase opportunities for students, but also to strengthen our own expertise in evidence-based youth development strategies. The UVA Youth Next Center for Effective Youth Development has been our coach for more than a year now. And the Urban League of Hampton Roads and Mentor Virginia are helping us to recruit and train mentors to support our programming. This is just a short list of the community partners who support our youth development goals. We're fortunate to have several school-based and division-level initiatives which are growing and making a difference for kids, but I want to take a few minutes just to highlight 2 new initiatives. A year ago today, our NNPS family was shaken by a very tragic event at Heritage High School. Shortly after that, we were left once again confronted with the reality of violence in the Minchville parking lot. As a youth development team, we really wanted to be a part of the solution. So we designed a proposal for a new program called My Brother's Keeper. Heritage High School enthusiastically accepted the invitation to participate in the pilot, which was very successful. The work was led and continues to be led by what we call credible messengers. And these are individuals who are really able to connect with students on a much deeper level. After the very first session, there was a request to also launch My Sister's Keeper, which we did. Ultimately, we wanted to expand this program, which focuses on academic enrichment, future orientation, empowerment, and mental health to all of our remaining high schools. So we applied for the Newport News Gun Violence Intervention Prevention Grant and was awarded nearly $93,000 to implement this Tier 3 intervention for high school students. So as we developed this project, it became obvious that we needed to create similar interventions for our elementary students, as well as create a process that will support participating students even when there is an event that results in them being disconnected from their home school. So we're looking to partner not only with our schools, but also with Juvenile Detention and Enterprise Academy to make sure that we have continuous support for those students. It would be impossible for our team to do this work alone. We're extremely grateful for the support of our internal departments, such as student advancement, which includes school counseling, and our CTE team, which is helping us to create a comprehensive program that will help us achieve positive student outcomes. We are also collaborating with other grant recipients and community organizations to ensure that wraparound services are available to meet the needs of these students when they need it and how they need it. Finally, the Center for Crime, Equity, and Justice Research and Policy at CNU is supporting us by helping us develop performance measures and also having graduate students work with us on this project. I'm really excited to share with you tonight a vision that we've talked about for 3 years that has finally come to fruition. Connecting students to clubs and activities is low on the youth engagement continuum. As we've made gains over the years, we have continually asked ourselves, what is next? Most of our schools have also made leadership development a priority. And at the very end of the continuum is youth organizing, which leads to real systemic change. The Emerging Leader Institute, which George Smith is a part of, George was here with us earlier today, was established to combine our youth development and leadership development efforts to equip students with information, resources, and skills to serve as global leaders. So currently we have 85 11th and 12th grade students from all of our high schools who are members of ELI. In year one, their program of work includes monthly professional development on topics such as business and professional etiquette, characteristics of effective leadership, civic engagement, and business and entrepreneurship. In addition to professional development, ELI members can participate in empowerment experiences that enhance their skills, such as public speaking, writing, and scholarship workshops. In return, all ELI members agree to serve as resources in their schools or community. The vast majority of them are excited to serve as mentors to their younger peers, both in the elementary, middle school, and high school level. And in year two, students will work in teams to complete a capstone research project focused on the strand of their choice with extraordinary mentors in that field. Before I close, I want to let our families know that many of our schools are in the process of connecting their students to opportunities. We believe that every student should have the opportunity to lead, serve, and contribute to their school community. Although many schools have already started recruiting, October 10th through the 14th will be Get Connected Week, which is designated as a real push to get all students connected to at least one club, sport, or activity. Schools are hosting club fairs, using their Canvas pages to recruit, and offering many ways for students to participate. Throughout the year, youth development monitors student involvement and, most importantly, to figure out who is not connected so that we can figure out why and seek those students out. So we invite all of our students, families, and community partners to stand with us to promote positive culture during STAND Month, which is also National Bullying Prevention Month. Next week, our schools will begin to share their activities that they have planned for the month. The division calendar will also be available online, as well as ideas on how our students and families can participate. We encourage you to take some note of important dates, including October 3rd, which is a Monday, we encourage everyone to wear blue for World Bullying Prevention Day. October 18th, which is our Stand Together and Read Day. We invite any of you who are interested to come with us and read to our elementary school student books on kindness and inclusion. And then October 28th, which is Stand Night at Todd Stadium. Finally, on November 4th and 5th, we will have, and you don't want to miss this, our More Than a Princess conference at Woodside High School, which will welcome 600 students to participate in a rally on Friday night and an empowerment workshops all day for students, families, and educators. So registration for that conference will begin in the next 2 weeks, and we hope to see you all there. I know I've taken up a great deal of your time, but I would be really remiss if I didn't introduce my youth development family. So I'm going to ask Mike Nichols and Christina Buckingham to please stand quickly. They work tirelessly for our kids, and I'm just appreciative of the support that they give to me, so I appreciate you. I want to say that publicly. This concludes my presentation, and I would love to answer any questions that you may have.
Do you have any questions?
I see one.
I see one.
Yeah.
Mr. Brown.
So I'll ask one question.
Sure.
I think it'll be an easy one, which is so the Get Connected program. I think obviously that's going to cover our high schools, and can we get a report when you're done with your Get Connected campaign, the percentage of high schoolers who are connected? But then as well, I wonder about middle school, so can you talk about how much effort is being focused on some
Absolutely.
of the younger ages?
Because we have the dedicated support, our youth development leads and activity directors in every school, they are responsible for connecting students to those activities. So elementary schools, they're looking for 100% participation for clubs and activities. Middle school mirrors high school. They have just as many clubs. They have the same kind of dedication. Some of them are doing flex days and club days. They have the same recruitment strategies. And then in Synergy, we go into Synergy, and every student that's participating in a club or activity, we actually connect that group code for that club to that student's name. So if you're in 5 clubs, all 5 of those clubs are connected to your name. So then it gives me the ability then to go in and say, show me everyone who's in Bloom. I can not only see everyone that's in Bloom or on the football team, but I can also see their GPA, I can see their absences, I can see their discipline, I can see. So that's how we're monitoring student participation in clubs and activities.
Thank you.
I had a comment.
Yes, Dr. Best.
Well, I kind of had a question, but I don't really expect you to answer. But my question was like, how do you do all of this? But I understand how you're able to do it is your why, because you know that it's just very, very important, and it's a hook for many students. So I just wanted to commend you all for a job well done, because this will be the thing that draws some students in, and we need them here. So I just want to say thank you. And keep up the good work.
Thank you, and thank you for your support. When we see your faces and you're reading to kids and you come to our events, it reinforces the work that we're doing. So we appreciate that as well.
You're welcome.
And this is how we do it. It's a big team. It's a really big team. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Madam Chair, we thought we'd share that youth development with you because they were up and running, and we already are seeing kids getting connected. So, and we know next month is Bullying Awareness Month, and it's always a great, very busy month for youth development. So, we wanted Mrs. Adams to have an opportunity to share some of the many other things that they're doing outside of that month's activities with you this evening. So, thank you for providing that opportunity. So that concludes the monthly school update.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to take Gary Hunter's comment that great things are happening in Newport News Public Schools after a presentation like that. It is just wonderful we can provide for our students in that way.
And if the board is interested, I'm going to have Mrs. Buffalo put some of those dates on my calendar, but we'll be happy to. Oh, she's already on.
She already has.
We'll make sure those dates are available to you, loaded on the activities calendar for the board as well.
Thank you. So next on our agenda is 5.02 Assessment Calendar Update. 5.03 is the 10-day membership report, and 5.04 the construction report. Board members, you have received copies of these reports. Are there any questions?
And Madam Chair, the assessment calendar, I believe, is my team from EASO who will present some information regarding the calendar for the board this evening. In the board report, you have information on the attendance procedural changes we will be bringing to the board in October, but we provided the board with information on attendance, so there are several documents and a letter to the board that's included in the board packet for this month's meeting, and it is public facing, Madam Chair, so the community, because we will be introducing that, communicating attendance this month to the community.
Great.
So without further ado, for 5.02, the assessment calendar update, I'd like to call up Dr. Haskins and her team to talk about our assessment program this year.
Hello, and good evening. And before I get started, I just want to say to youth development, can we get connected, please? You all are doing some awesome work. So good evening, Madam Chair Sirs Law, Madam Best, members of the school board, and Dr. Parker. My name is Dr. Haskins, and I'm the Director of Equity, Assessment, and Strategic Operations. I'm joined by Mrs. Sherry Sanchez, our assessment supervisor, and together we will review the Newport News Public Schools assessment process, plan, and assessment calendar for the 22-23 school year. In Newport News Public Schools, we acknowledge the variations of assessments and use them as a tool to help support the learning process. Assessments, along with the full learning experience, are designed to lead our students to becoming college, career, and citizen ready and grow the characteristics of the Newport News Public Schools profile of a learner. The goal of our assessment plan is to provide key insights into student performance to ensure timely remediation and enrichment opportunities for our students and ultimately guide them towards mastery of content. So right here, I chose the mirror right there in the little corner as a visual to show the connection to our assessment calendar and the process we use to ensure our students can demonstrate understanding of the taught curriculum. Our calendar should reflect our process, and our process should be reflected in the calendar. This year, there is particular emphasis on shorter, timely assessments that are closer to the time students learn the information. Also, we have added benchmark testing, which will provide rich data on student need and potential instructional supports. Now we will have Ms. Sanchez review our updates and unpack the calendar for elementary, middle, and high.
Good evening. So I'm going to talk about just the updates for the first semester calendar. So in the updates, you have the Newport News local assessments. Those are your formative assessments and summative assessments to include common unit tests as well as benchmarks. We have the Virginia Assessment Program, which is our VAP test. Those are your SOLs and the growth assessments that students participate in. The Virginia Alternate Assessment Program, which is what we call VAP, that's the alternate assessment for students with significant cognitive disabilities. And then the Nagularey Nonverbal Ability, or the Otis Lennon School Ability Test, is a screener assessment that students are given that identifies students that are eligible to participate in the Gifted Services Program. And then the local alternative assessments, when the state did away with the grade 3 history and grade 3 science, grade 5 writing, and United States history 1865, which we do 6th grade, United States history 1865 to present, which is 7th grade, the state still required that local school divisions continue to teach the content and measure student achievement with local alternative assessments, including authentic and performance assessment. So those are just kind of the various types of assessments students will receive first semester. And this is just an example of, on the left-hand side of your screen, it gives you the assessment types. So what's presented to you is a list of various assessments that will be given to students throughout the school year, to include things such as the fall growth assessment, PALS, local alternative assessments, reading inventory, common unit assessments, and benchmarks. On the right side of your screen is a sample of the testing window. So it just lists the test, the window that the schools are expected to have students participate. And then further right is just kind of a little summary or a key to let families know the acronyms that students will receive, that acronyms of the tests that students will participate in. We have an example for middle school. Just like elementary school, it includes some of the similar tests, things such like the fall growth assessment. You have students who participate in grades 3 through 8. But in addition to that, they start with IXL and then no red ink. Also, it is also paired with the assessments and the testing window. And again, the acronyms for our families to be able to get a little bit more information on what the assessment is. And then in high school, you're going to see a larger amount of tests for students because there's so many things that they have to be assessed in order to prepare themselves for graduation. So you'll see some of the similar things, but then we have included the SAT, PSAT, ACT work keys, which is the alternate assessment that we give students in order for them to earn a verified credit in reading or writing. And then, of course, you have your fall writing and your fall non-writing included. So those are just some examples of the tests. And again, you'll see kind of the testing window of what they have and then an explanation of the acronyms. And again, this is just an example of the first semester that students will receive assessments. And then it just continues on second semester. So we have the updates. I'll pass it over to Dr. Haskins so she can kind of let you know how we're communicating the information out to families.
So assessments are communicated in a layered approach. So from EASO, Equity Assessment and Strategic Operations, to division leadership and school leadership. Then we have this conversation, and then we publish the division assessment calendar that includes all the information that we just shared. Individual schools will communicate to families and stakeholders prior to upcoming assessments. And on each school's website under the Families tab, there is a link that provides a PDF version of the calendar that we showed in the previous slides. We're also updating the NNPS assessment letters, in which a link will be added to the Families tab that will take them to the testing department, so to the testing department website to retrieve information about the various assessments in which their student may participate in. And in conclusion, these are just moving forward. We have some ongoing formative and summative assessments. We are having curated data talks with division leadership, which will then funnel down to our principals and funnel down to our teachers. And also, we are making sure that we have professional learning communities that are going to drive the instructional decisions. And I just want to give a huge shout out to Synergy Analytics. That is our SIS database that is housing some of this information and is making analysis of student achievement data timely and easy to analyze. So, with that said, do you all have any questions?
I do have a quick question on the, and thank you for the update. There's a lot going on, so it's good to kind of know and plan. But looking at the, this is just from some personal experience. Sorry, trying to get my words together. But the Naglieri and the OLSAT, for I guess more identifying maybe kids who might need the more gifted education or different education. Are all students in those grades given the OLSAT as well as the Naglieri, or how are?
So currently right now we test all of the second grade students with the Naglieri test, and they have referred fifth graders in the Naglieri, and then based on their performance there, they would move on to the second round of testing, which is the ALSAT. I do know in conversation with Dr. Beckerdite, they are trying to grow that program, so we're looking at moving forward, having more students be active participants versus just having just the second grade group test.
Because our personal experience has been you may have students that don't do great on the Naglieri, but they do very well on the OLSAT because it's a slightly different approach. So I was it might be something for them to consider if you have a student who you might want to let them that everybody take both in the sense that personally we had one do extremely well on the OLSAT, but if I hadn't known about it and asked for it, they wouldn't have gotten to that second test, and it made a big difference in their education. So,
sure thing. We'll take it back, and I'll absolutely have that discussion with Dr. Beckerdite.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
Just make one comment in regards to the PSAT, and that I think it's beneficial for kids to get that earlier, and by earlier I mean middle school, like 8th grade. Given that there's no penalty for a child not doing well on it, and it essentially lets the kid know where they are. I think offering it in middle school is a real boost. I know for my own children, the PSAT is when the college letters and the recruiting starts, and that's when kids get the opportunity for college scholarships are from taking the PSAT. I know that from experience. So I believe it's just really important that we offer that, even if it's optional, for kids to sit through that and encourage them to do that in the 8th grade. So then they'll be better prepared for the PSAT again in high school, making it on their way to national merit if they're so inclined for pushing that direction.
We do. We offer the PSAT 8-9 test for middle school students.
Okay.
Typically, it'll go through students who are in upper level math courses because of the nature of what they get tested on for math. So middle school students are afforded that opportunity through a sign-up program. And then we have all 9th, 10th, and 11th graders that participate in the PSAT. And of course, we have SAT days as well. So we're trying to cover the bases and grow that program as well.
Now, if I just want my child to take the PSAT, can I just sign them up at their school?
Yeah, you can for the middle school.
Okay.
And I believe, I want to tell you, it's through the counselor is where the sign-up is going to be.
Yes.
And so that's all you have to do, and then we would take care of it.
I think the one question I have continues with the PSAT, and how is it marketed to parents in the 8th grade so that they know this is an option?
So I will tell you that would be a Dr. Karen Blizzard question because it's handled through her. We're just putting it, we put the assessments on the calendar, and then I work with Libby Brown, who is our representative with College Board, to ensure that we have the funds to be able to afford for students to take the test. So Dr. Blizzard would be more appropriate to ask that question.
Sounds good.
I can tell you as a former principal in the division, it used to be marketed through counseling department. So even though, and we could absolutely go back for clarification, but it was marketed through the counseling department through your course schedule. So if you were in those upper level classes, then you would have the opportunity. They would probably have that conversation one-on-one, but we would need clarification on how to get it to a broader audience.
Yes. I'd like to hear that. Thank you, Dr. Parker. And thank you both.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you've had a moment to think if you had any questions on the 10-day membership report or the construction report. Are there any questions? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to item 5.05, comments by the superintendent. Dr. Parker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On behalf of our entire leadership team, I thank our students, families, and staff for another successful school opening. On August 29th, we welcomed nearly 26,500 students to the new school year with lots of fanfare and lots of smiling faces. From Christopher Newport University's athletes to the members of the police department and fire department, we saw many of them out there that day, local elected officials and the school board. Our students and families and staff were welcomed with cheers, high fives, and chants. Special thanks to all of our teachers and staff for ensuring that our students had a great first day and a great first few weeks of school. I'm looking forward to a great school year of teaching and learning this year. We'd also like to say special thanks to our students and staff who participated in the 62nd Annual Denby Day Parade on Saturday. Many school groups joined our high school bands in a great display of Newport News Public Schools pride. And thanks to the members of the school board who walked the parade route this year and greeted hundreds of spectators. September 15th through October 15th is National Hispanic Heritage Month, and the school division is recognizing the achievements and contributions of Hispanic American champions who have inspired others to achieve success. Over the next few weeks, our schools will be commemorating the observance with special events and activities, and we will share some of those on social media and our website. High school juniors and seniors and their families are invited to a financial aid workshop on Tuesday, September 27th at 6 p.m. at Warwick High School. We invite you to attend the workshop to learn more about the free application for federal student aid, grants, loans, and scholarships. For more information, visit our website or contact your school counselor. And I'm sure we will probably send a media blast out regarding that information. Newport News Public Schools is again partnering with the Health Hero organization to provide free flu vaccinations for all students in kindergarten through 12th grade. Health Hero will conduct flu shot clinics at all of our schools October 3rd through October 6th. Parent consent forms for the free clinics were distributed to all students earlier this month, and they are available on our website. Families are encouraged to review the information and register their children, contact your school nurse, or visit our website for more information on the free shot clinics. And finally, the 2021-2022 report to the community will be posted on our website tomorrow. The report features student scholars and athletes, highlights of success across Newport News Public Schools from last school year, and links to video features, which are embedded into the document. In the coming days, copies of the annual report will be available at all schools, public libraries, community centers, and at grocery stores and Wawa convenience stores throughout the city. Make sure you check it out online or pick up a copy at some of your favorite locations. I'd also like to again welcome our student representative, Raquel, to our governance team. I'm looking forward to your leadership on the Superintendent Student Advisory Committee this year. And additionally, we look forward to any ideas that you have for supporting the voices of our students in Newport News this year. So welcome aboard. And Madam Chair, that concludes my comments for this evening.
Great, thank you so much. We will move on to item 6, another opportunity to hear from the public. Do we have any cards? No. So then we will move the agenda to matters by the school board. But just before we hear from members of the board, we would like to wish our devoted board clerk, Tiffany Moore Buffalo, a very happy birthday. We are so thankful for you and all that you do for us. And we have a little something for you. We'll kind of pass it down.
Does it involve keys?
Would you do the honors, Marvin?
Not a problem.
Thank you. Oh, my favorite color. Oh, my envelope is green. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, well, now we will have matters by the school board. We'll begin with Ms. Manadero. And next, John Ely.
I just want to thank everybody who presented tonight. It was amazing presentations, very informative, and I'm just looking for an amazing, great school year. That's all.
Mrs. Amon.
Sure. I also want to thank everyone for your presentations and looking forward to a good year. I know the first couple of weeks are always interesting with parent drop-off and pickup, but those seem to be getting smoother and traffic's getting a little lighter, and I trust that inside the building's getting to be running smoothly too. So looking forward to a great year.
Thank you. Mr. Harris.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I would like to thank everyone that gave reports and really appreciate all the information. Also, I would like to welcome and thank all of the new hires that we've had over the last couple of months, the ones that the first time here in Newport News Public School Division, and the ones that left and came back. We really appreciate you coming back. There is a shortage across America on teachers and administrators, so we value what you bring to the public school system in Newport News. We really do. So thank you for that. Also, welcome Madam Student Representative on the school board. Really looking forward to all of your wisdom. And I heard, I think it was the Naval Academy is in sights. Okay. Right. We had a school representative that went to the Naval Academy. So I think it goes to show that the students are selecting home run hitters every time. I mean, just what I've seen since I've been on the school board. So we're going to expect nothing less from you, okay? Appreciate you. Also, I attended the Demby Day Parade, and I want to apologize for probably gave a lot of kids some achy stomachs Saturday, but we issued out a lot of candy to grown-ups and children. So it had a great feel to it. Being there, talking to people, it felt almost like a relief. It was just this nice, cool, calm atmosphere, I believe. And a lot of people expressed that, you know, they was glad to be there. You know, it just had a weird feeling to it, almost like a homecoming, you know, without all the excitement. It was more subdued, but happy at the same time. So I think the city needed that, and hopefully we'll continue along those lines. And also, welcome back to all of our students. We're looking forward to all your hard efforts, and stay motivated. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Hunter?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Great things are happening in Newport News Public School. Again, I thank you for the report. Welcome to our new student rep. You know, it's glad to have always pleasure to have someone, a representative, for the voice of our students on the board. So looking forward to your comments and, your leadership. And again, welcome. I would like to thank two people in particular. Several of us attended the Urban Board Alliance conference about a little bit over a week and a half ago. And Miss Linda Ashkew and Dr. Michelle Mitchell, let me tell you, they did a breakout session on the expanded mental health services for both students and staff with the creation of a wellness program. They couldn't get through they could not get through the whole presentation for the questions that were asked. It was phenomenal, and I'm going to tell you. I believe I heard some whispers were saying that folks from other divisions was trying to steal us. They want to take our people. But anyway, great things are happening in Newport News, so that was really a showpiece. We really showed up and showed out. So job well done. Again, welcome back to school to our students here, and we look forward to another exciting and positive and lots of achievement this year. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Bess.
Mr. Brown. Okay. Good evening, everyone, and I too would like to thank the staff for your reports tonight. Some really good information, and we do appreciate all of your hard work. I had the opportunity to visit, I believe it was 7 schools on the first day of school, and each one just gets better and better. The parents were excited, the students were excited, all the greeters were excited, and it was just a wonderful day. I always say it's the most wonderful time of the year. But I would like to thank all of the staff and those of you that are really pitching in. We do have a teacher shortage, and you're kind of all over the place, but I want you to know we do appreciate you, all that you do, and we know that you do it for the students, so it is most appreciated. I had an opportunity to attend the Southeast Community Festival. There was not a parade this year, but I echo what Mr. Harris said. I think people, after this COVID pandemic, they were just ready to get out and be amongst people, so it was a good community type of feeling. It was much smaller, but it was just wonderful to be there and see the citizens of Newport News as well. And Dr. Parker, please make sure that you give me some extra reports so that I can play some at Piggly Wiggly as well. So we would like some. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Well, we appreciate the reports tonight. I just don't ever want to miss the opportunity to be informed. So thank you all for taking time to pour into us that way. Welcome back to school, and staff and teachers, thank you for getting us through this. We appreciate it, and we couldn't do it without you.
I think you have Mr. Brown.
Oh, and I forgot Mr.
No, I got
Brown.
Mr.
Brown, I apologize. How did I manage that? You're right here on my list.
Well, it's because I'm going to talk for 10 minutes. Well, I'll let you know.
No, you're not.
Just
No,
say
you're
me
not.
first.
I know. I was just trying to catch her attention to say she missed one. Go
I
ahead.
missed one. I apologize.
Oh, yeah. No problem. I'm believing that this is going to be the most enjoyable year I think that we've had probably in recent memory and in memory. I'll echo what Mr. Harris said. I went to the Southeast Community Day and also the Denby Day Parade. You can sense from the public and from the students and the staff that we're all just very glad to be together. I know it's been, we've had a rough couple of years, and that gratitude, I think, is permeating through our buildings and through our people, that I think we're all grateful to be together and to have some time together. For one lesson learned from the parade is either bring some more candy, or I'm gonna have to tell some of the parents no. Yeah. it was the parents who were asking for candy, and then we ran out of candy for the kids when we finally got to the last street. So for future years, I may have to tell some of the parents no, so we can get to some of the kids and pass out the candy. But that was just a wonderful time, a wonderful day, and I really enjoyed that. And I know it's been a couple of years since we've had the Denby Day Parade, and so everyone, I think, was really excited to participate. I want to give a shout out to the Johnson Elementary Drumline that participated in both the Southeast Day and the Denby Day Parade. those kids were awesome. Awesome. So I hope in future coming months we may have a chance to honor them here at a board meeting. I got a chance to take a picture with them. Those are some real celebrities. They were really keeping time.
Mhm.
We had a groove to strut to right behind us as we were going down the parade. So those kids were awesome and really great. Great to see them participating, and great to see them soaring in music education, which is so very important. I'll just make my last comment about we've got our capital budget coming up. And I know that we often say thank you to the staff, and the two ways that I believe we say thank you is one, through our operating budget, and secondly through our capital budget, and making sure that we have the facilities and all the infrastructure that is needed for everyone to do their job and to do it in the best educational environment that we can possibly provide. So I made my comments tonight during our work session. I'll increase or echo some of my comments, which are let's be aggressive. We've taken the time to put together a long-range plan, which is an excellent long-range plan, and let's make sure that we're on the aggressive side of our long-range plan. So I'll continue to challenge this board. Let's continue to be aggressive, because one of the way that we show the community how much we care about education is the condition of our buildings. And so that's just so vital and very important. And so let's make sure that we don't leave anything off the table that needs to be requested, and that in doing so we do our job. So I'm looking forward to a great year, and we'll see you all in a month.
Great. And with that, meeting is adjourned.
All right.
That's what
I said no.
And then Lisa, but when you didn't.
I didn't.
His close observation of nature and exploration of the extremes of human physiology